was this breakup? It was hard for you in the moment, but did you notice that it was hard to get over her in the long run?
No.
No?
No.
Okay.
No, we stayed together that 1 month, and
when she left, you're like,
the moment she left, I just jumped into my new independent life, and it was absolutely great, because it was really the first time ever in my life that I was 100% on my own.
Mm-hmm.
And I loved it. I went absolutely bananas. I won't go into details there, but because I worked in nightclubs, you can imagine the rest, right? Yeah. So I made up for those lost Catholic years. Let's put it that way.
Fair enough.
And it was a different time. It was the early 90s. It was a very different time to what it is now.
Mm-hmm.
People were different, and it was easy to go crazy.
Yeah,
it was much easier to go crazy, and I go to jail.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Well, those are
good time.
Those are my questions for you. I mean,
well, I had more breakups after that.
Yeah.
Right. During my time in England, I had a few casual relationships, which were casual for me, not very casual for the person that was with me. I discovered something that's very present in the movies. I didn't believe it because I'm a nice guy, but it turns out that being a bit of an asshole actually did help.
Mm-hmm.
Right. The moment I broke up with this one girl in the UK and I went bananas, I basically turned into a bit of a dick.
Yeah.
Right. And at least the type of girl that was around me at that time, like that. Love the fact that I was a really nice guy, but I was also a bit of a dick. And that combo seemed to work somehow. So I had a lot of casual relationships that I also broke up. There was one in particular, which I felt she was a lovely, lovely girl. I broke up with her and she didn't like it one bit. And that was nasty. I shouldn't have done that. You know, she knows who she is. I doubt she's listening, but if she is, I apologize profusely. I shouldn't have done that. Shouldn't have been such a dick to such a lovely girl. Story of my life. Yeah, man. So I do have, when it comes to breakups and relationships, I think the biggest takeaway I've ever had, I can give from, or I have from all these relationships, is the fact that they don't work for one very, very specific reason. At least what's happened to me in the past is that people try to change the other half. And that never works. People are who they are. And very often what happens is that you like somebody for a reason, and then there's maybe 2 or 3 things that you don't like about them. And in the back of your mind, you say like, oh, once we're together, I'll change that. Right? Mm-hmm. My advice to anybody that thinks like that is don't, because it is not a good way to start a relationship, or even halfway through the relationship. If you start seeing things that you didn't see before that you don't like, it's time to go, because you're not going to change it. And changing somebody against their will is the worst thing you can do. This is how a lot of people stay together for a lot of years. Eventually, resentment starts building up, and eventually it explodes. Or if it doesn't explode, you end up being an unhappy person for most of your life, and it's very avoidable.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's my bit of advice, as useless as it may be. You didn't even ask for it, so I'm sorry about that.
No, I was going to ask you for it anyways. You just, like usual, you know what I'm going to ask you and you answer it straight away. So.
Well, I'm actually being quite passionate about breakups, relationships, and all that all my life. You know it from our previous. I think it's our first episode, right? Our very first episode that we started talking about relationships.
Yeah, we have.
That was more about family. But for years and years, I was totally mystified as to why these things happen, and the human condition, and men and women relationships, or basically human relationships, intimate relationships, especially the psyche of the other half, has always mystified me. So I thought a lot about this. That's why I have so much advice.